Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, family. Thank you for stopping by my Wisdom Wednesday show today. As usual, I'm a little late today, but I thought I would go ahead and get it in yet anyway. We had some appointments earlier today and really couldn't get on. We normally come on like 2 p.m., but today I just said, you know what, I'm just going to go. I'm not going to miss today because we want to get back and be consistent with doing these shows. They've been very powerful shows. We've got a lot of people that have been visiting us and commenting. I'm thinking that the show has helped some people. I'm going to wait a little while until we have a few people in with me before I start. But I have a word for you today, and it is a word that really is more about yourself. My Wisdom Wednesday shows are usually about what's happening with me or what I'm working on. And right now I'm working on some things. Sometimes we're working on physical things. Sometimes we're working on mental things. Sometimes it's just, you just have to be still and let it all come in and kind of figure out how to disperse it with other things. And there's a word that I read this morning that really, really blessed me because I recognize that I'm changing a lot. My whole everything has changed. My outlook has changed. My demeanor is changing. Just I feel a huge change. And as I was walking the other day, I was just saying, man, my life is so much different than what it was even a year ago. Just on today, just in the confidence I've rebuilt. Just my faith, I believe, is a lot stronger than it was a year ago. And even though I find myself in a place, even on today, where I'm not 100% comfortable, I will say that today my faith is stronger than it was a year ago this time. And just allowing God to do what he does, because sometimes what I found is that God does things totally different to get you. He has a different way of getting you to the outcome, that the expected outcome. And I find myself today just being at peace in spite of some of the things that I lack today. I really find myself at peace. And a lot of times when we're not doing a lot of deals or we're not helping a lot of families, I get a little agitated, if you will. But even on today, I really feel great today. It feels like it's all coming together. I know that the more we do good, the more evil comes at us. And so, and I thank you for Sweet and being in the room with us. Big love to you. This is my Wisdom Wednesday show, and it's normally about what's going on with me, what I'm working on. And right now I'm working on my mental. I'm working on my mental stability. I'm working on just being able to accept things the way they are, and be okay with my life right now. We always have these goals, or if tomorrow becomes better, if this happens, things are going to be better. If things happen, if that would have happened, things would have been better. But I want to read a word to you guys. I think that it's going to help you like it helped me. It says, you will continue to have opportunities to deal with attitudes and motivations that are unrighteous. When conviction comes by my spirit, receive and internalize the correction. The internal work is vital to your transformation into my image. Yield to it with joy. 2 Corinthians 3:18. But we all, with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror of the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as by the Spirit of the Lord. What I got out of this, we're just being transformed. I know that I feel like I am truly being transformed into something that I've never, ever really thought about. We have a saying in Sweden, much wants more, as if have much, you want even more. That's from someone that they say they're in Sweden. Thank you for that. That is very much so true. But more doesn't always mean better. I've had a lot, and I've had a lot of problems with having a lot. I've had a little, and I've had a little. And when I've had a little, I've had a lot of problems with having a little. But when you can find yourself to be content wherever you are right now, that's when life begins. And I know that right now I am so content. There are some things and desires that I have in my heart that I want. And then I've asked God for, but before we can get there, I just have to be okay with me. And today, my mental is stronger than it has been maybe in my entire life right this minute. My physical, I have no physical ailments. I'm 58, almost 59 years old, and I have no ailments, no sicknesses, no nothing. I'm in good shape. Yes, I'm a little overweight, but I work on that every day. I'm up every day. If you guys look up on my timeline, I'm out walking 2 to 3 miles every day. Happy Wednesday to you, Angel. Love you too, little sis. I'm just sharing today because I believe that we need to find a place to be content with ourselves. I think that myself, I have lived my life always striving for more, always trying to do better. And sometimes when you're striving for more or trying to do better, it can be very uncomfortable. It can be very uncomfortable because many times those things that you're striving for, it seems like they're always aloof. It seems like you get so close and then it moves a little bit more, or you right there where you're getting ready to grab hold of that thing and it disappears or something. And I have to learn how to be okay with the opportunities that I have that are right there at my disposal. The word says you will continue to have opportunities to deal with attitudes and motivations that are unrighteous. That first part right there gives me chills because we all have some unrighteousness in our lives. We all have some situations in our lives. But when we get to the point where you can just deal with these opportunities and the motivations for you to be unrighteous, for you not to be where God wants you to be, or saying what God wants you to say, and over time, there's a lot of things in me that just seems that they've worked themselves out. I was walking this morning, I was saying, wow, from whence God has brought me. When you get that peace that passes all understanding, that peace where I don't need anything. There's things that I need, but I really don't need anything. Everything that I need is right here at my disposal. You will continue to have opportunities to deal with attitudes and motivations that are unrighteous. When conviction comes by my spirit, receive and internalize the correction. We all being corrected one way or another. It's not what somebody else says. It's not what this, it's what you do for God and what you do it really is that centering point. God is the centering point where he will center you so that you don't go too far overboard this way and you don't go too far underboard that way. What we want to do is find ourselves just to be in a good place where we're comfortable. And sometimes when I know for myself, when the corrections are going forward, it's very, very uncomfortable. It's very, very uncomfortable when corrections are being made. But God has a way of doing it in such a way that you don't even know he's correcting you until you look up one day and that thing that you were struggling with is gone. You're like, man, where did that thing go? Where did it go? God said that you will continue to have opportunities to deal with attitudes and motivations that are unrighteous. But when conviction comes by my spirit, receive and internalize the correction. The internal work is vital. The internal work is vital to your transformation into my image. Your internal work is vital to your transformation into my image. Yield to it with joy. That's what I'm doing today. I am so happy today. I find myself just being happy for no reason. I don't have nowhere to go. I don't really have nothing I really want to do. All I can tell you is just to be happy on purpose, by accident, being happy. And some of us, we're striving to be happy. We're striving to find that comfortable place. But he says the internal work is vital to your transformation into my image. Yield to it with joy. I know, sometimes when you're going into a new area, a new thing, we want to hold on to that old thing because that's where we find our comfort in what we already know. But when we let go of that old thing, it allows you to explore into something different, whether it be mental, whether it be physical. It'll allow you to do the internal work that you need to do. And I believe that's what God has had me doing the internal work. Doing the work on myself, my mental, my physical, my financial, and a lot of it we don't choose choose to do it. And it's not like I chose to do it, but God has made me have to sit, be still, and look at myself. You need to be still and look at yourself. Be still and know that God is still God. Be still and know that God can take you to where it is that you want to go. And it may not be the conventional way. He may not take you the way you thought he was going to take you, but you have to be open to the trip. You have to be open to being led by the Spirit. You have to be open to be led by God. Because when you let go and quit trying to force your way into things, God will make you be where you naturally need to be. Man, that's good. That's good for me. I'm going to go back and watch these videos. And I tell you, when I'm speaking to you guys, I'm speaking to myself, just to be okay with yourself, without any outside interruptions, without anybody coming to hold your hand, without any of that, just you and God. When God gives you the joy, he is transforming you. I feel like I have been totally transformed. The guy that I am today, I was not this guy a year ago. A year ago, I was suffering with anxiety and depression. A year ago, I was still fighting addiction. A year ago, I was still trying to fight my weight. A year ago, I was fighting all these things. And today, there's no fight. It just is. When it just becomes, that's when life starts, when it just becomes, it is, or it's no longer. And there's a lot of things that God has brought me forth. It's like, man, I never thought I would be able to get away where I wouldn't have that craving of an addiction. You know what an addiction is? When you have a craving for something and you just can't stop wanting it, and you want it so bad. No matter how much you deny yourself, your body, you find yourself doing what you thought you didn't want to do. You really don't want to do this thing. I really don't like this thing, but my body is craving it. My mind is craving it, and I can't help it. And when you go into any type of situation where you can't help it, you don't know how you're going to stop that. How you going to stop wanting it? How you going to stop desiring this thing? He said you will continue to have opportunities to deal with attitudes and motivations of unrighteousness. What happens is just keep God in front of you. Keep asking God to deliver you. Keep asking God to walk with you. Keep asking God to deliver you to where he would have you to be. And you will find yourself one day, that addiction that you got on your back, it will be gone. You will find out that your body will stop craving whatever it is that's making you feel, that's causing your addiction. Your body will shut down that thing. And then you will get to a point like I am today like no other day. I mean, it's like, wow, where did it go? I never thought that I could get over that thing. It just with time and with the help of God. And I'm just going to tell you, I've had addictions, I've had problems, and now today I find myself with absolutely no problems. And I just got another word that came to me through one of my assistants, and what she said to me, let me just read this to you. And this is my team, one of my teammates. She wrote this to me today. This is what she wrote. Good afternoon, big boss. When a person surrenders himself or herself to follow Christ, they must be willing to give up the old life they used to live. Is it a good exchange? Absolutely. For they gain a new life, a life that put Christ at the center of their lives. Like a sower who seemed to be throwing away the seeds on the ground. It may look as if it was lost, yet in due time, those seeds became plants. Those seeds became plants that yield much crops or fruits for them. Everything that we are willing to give up for the good, it comes back as a blessing that we can also share with others. It is actually losing in order to gain. Good afternoon. God bless. It is actually losing to gain. I just thank God, and that came from one of my assistants on my team. She wrote that because God told her to just do it, and I was like, I receive it. I receive every bit of it. That when you give up something, you do get something in return. And I know that I've been working on some things, giving up on some things that have hindered my growth. And I heard somebody. I'm going to repeat this again. I heard this from somebody else a few days ago. He said, you're one habit away from where you want to go. You are one habit away from where you want to go. That's either one good habit that you obtain that will take you to the destiny that you desire, or giving up one bad habit that will take you to the destiny that you want. You can choose which one you want, but you are one habit away from your destination. And when I heard that, I had to take inventory. Can you take inventory and say, you know what, I just want to give this thing up right here. I want to give that up. This is not what I really want. This is not what I really signed up for. This is not where I really thought I was going. But now I find myself caught in this trap and don't feel like I can get out. But you got to get to a place where you can give that thing up, because when you give that thing up, that's where fullness of joy comes. And you can't do it by yourself. Let me just tell you, I have not got here by myself. I've got here by being on my face in front of God on a daily basis, asking him to deliver me, begging him to deliver me, pleading with him, just say, Lord, you know what I need. You know exactly what I need. You know what I need better than I know what I need. Just give me what I need. I'm going to surrender to whatever it's going to take. I'm going to surrender and just go through it, because sometimes we start fighting against that thing. And I got some things in my life I've been fighting about for years. I'm talking about years. I'm not going to get into the disclosure of it all, but there's some things that I need to give up that I've been fighting for years, and it affects me. And it even now, and it's not easy, but you know what? It's right. And I'm working on that thing. I'm praying about that thing. I've given up so many things that now I find myself walking down the street saying, wow, man, I am a new man. Everything feels so new. It feels so good to not have them monkeys on your back. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys get this Wisdom Wednesday, because it's really just about you transforming yourself, not even you doing it, but surrendering. He said you will continue to have opportunities to deal with attitudes and motivations that are unrighteous. When conviction comes by my spirit, receive and internalize the correction. The internal work is vital to your transformation into my image. Yield to it with joy. 2 Corinthians 3:18, but we all, with an unveiled face, behold as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, as being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as the Spirit of the Lord. That's really my Wisdom Wednesday today, is change you for the better. God has something better for you, and he's changing you for the better. If you would surrender and allow him to change you, you may be able to get to the destination that you've only dreamed about. Because guess what? It's not easy to get where you want to go. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But the hardest thing for some people is to surrender, and surrender to a power that's higher than you. And I call him God. I surrender to God. God, take me and do what you want to do with me. Remake me. Make me what you want me to be. Make me be make me into the man that I only dreamed of being. Make me into the man that I know that I'm not capable of being myself without you. But I know with you, anything is possible. You can make me be whatever you want me to be. And you know what the desires of my heart. So continue to remake me. And unfortunately, when you're being remade, sometimes they got to break you. He got to go and break it all up into pieces, into little bitty pieces, and then he puts it back together. And sometimes that's the way it feels. It feels like you're broken. That's one of the things he talks about. You get broke. He will break you and break that thing. And when you broke and he starts putting you back together, he leaves out some of that stuff that you didn't want to be put in this new thing. Ooh, that's good. That's what happened to me. He broke me. He broke me down where I just was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. And made it to a point where I couldn't go to nowhere. There was nobody I could call. There was nothing I could do. The only person I could call that would even possibly understand was God. And at the end of the day, after a long journey of fighting that thing, resisting that thing, trying to overcome that thing on my own, trying to figure it out, just to let go and surrender. And then God just broke you. And then he just started putting it all back together. Then you find yourself back together, but you missing something. You missing that very thing that was holding you back. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. You're missing that very thing that is holding you back. And I know I've left some things behind. I still got a few things in front of me that I'm working on, and it's going to be a challenge, but you know what? I'm not going to fight against it no more. My staff just told me that this is nothing but a confirmation is that you have to change. He's trying to change you, you know, and there's nothing wrong with change. And he's changing this for the better. He's changing me for the better. I feel so much better right now. That's all I can say. And I pray that you do as well. Thank you guys for stopping through today. That's my Wisdom Wednesday show. Peace and blessings to all of you. God bless.